Hi there and welcome back to another craft video. This is the third video now in this current series. I've decided to share this one on YouTube as well and not just in the creative workshop group, purely because it's not just about what's going on at the moment. I'm actually going to be creating something for the Easter weekend. So I thought it would be something really fun and I thought it could be shared with more people. The rest of the book that I'm creating has only been shared within the free workshop group. So if you haven't seen that, I will leave the link below. This is what I've created so far. Everyone is welcome. And I'm going to be working on this next page today. So the link is below, and if you are in the group, I really hope you're enjoying everything that's been made so far. Your books are amazing. I am loving seeing your journals in the group. Thank you so much for sharing. Right, let's get straight into this. I was chatting with my husband this morning, and I said to him, he looked in fear as I said, I want to create a to-do list for us for the Easter weekend. We're both still working full-time, so it's not like we're just sat around the house. We're really busy at the moment. So he looked in shock at me when he thought I was going to give him DIY jobs and all that kind of thing. But no, I want to do a to-do list of fun stuff. Movies to watch, box sets to watch, coffee to drink, jobs to do in the garden that are nice, something to bake, fun stuff for us to do over the next few days. That's what I'm going to do right now, and as it's the Easter weekend, it is going to go in my 2020 storybook, because it is about what we're doing at the moment. And usually, let's face it, we would be doing other stuff like visiting family, going out for a day out maybe, going to the pub with friends, that kind of thing. So I do think it's very fitting and will be something really good in this book right now, in this journal, because it will be interesting to see in years to come how we chose to spend our Easter weekend. So that's what today's class is all about. Right, I've got bits and pieces here from the current Lollipop Box Club kit, which I'll also link up for you. Although saying that, there's not many for sale at the moment. They're selling really fast. But I'm going to use the back page of what I created last time. I used a little pocket here. If you did want to see the rest of the book, how it's come together, the links and videos and all that are actually in the class chat. So they're all linked up below. I'm going to take the to-do list. This came in the Feb kit. That is going to go on my page. I'm going to cut it down, stick it in, and I am going to start making my to-do list. Now, the other thing I wanted to do, I wanted to allow myself to add some photos afterwards and some journaling. So I've got a card blank here. It's a little 4x3, but obviously you can just cut your card to any size, fold it down the center, it will work exactly the same. I'm going to stick that on here, stick down the 3 sides and create a little pocket for my tag. So I'm going to get started straight away. My notebook that I'm using is a 4x6, or a 6x4. So I will need to trim it down slightly. Let's see if that's going to stick there. Let's cut that down like that. Another way of doing it, you could even add a piece of washi at the tape, so you could flip it and you've got even more space for photos and journaling if you wanted. I'm not going to do that, but that is an option for you. So that page was super quick to make. I'm now going to work on this. Now, something I wanted to do, I'm taking one of the die cuts from the kit and I'm actually going to use it as a stencil. Now, I get asked quite a lot about using mists and things like that, ink sprays. It's all the same kind of thing really, isn't it? So I'm going to give you a quick example. Let's move all this to one side of how I use mine. If you're familiar with my craft videos, you will have seen this board time and time again. I have used this. It was a packaging. 2009 is the date on that, and I always use this as my base for painting, and I just love it now. It's got so much texture on it. It's like a piece of my art history, really. I'm going to use this die cut today. You can do this with anything that's punched. So it could be a flower, it could be a heart, anything like that. It works as a perfect stencil. So let's lay that flat. I'm going to start with it like that. I'm going to take one of my Dilution ink sprays, give it a good tap. Do go careful when using any types of mist and things like that. especially the glimmer ones with all the sparkly bits in. You're not supposed to shake them. You're supposed to give them a tap because it clogs up the little tubey thing. Right, this looks like it's a brand new one. Let me see if I've got one open. So I've got the spray. Let's spray that over. And just go careful when you lift it. Doesn't that look cool? And that is what I do with my ink sprays. Right, let's have, I want to do this one slightly different. Let's have that one at the top. I do 2 colours on this one. There we go. And then with the green, I'm going to do a few little flicks. There we go. I really like how those colours really contrast. Let me just lift that up so you can see it better. There we go. And then the die cut afterwards as well, when you've finished with it, you can leave it to dry and you've got something really pretty there as well. I think I will use that. So I want this to dry. So I'm going to leave it for the time being. And in the meantime, I'm going to write my to-do list. Right, this is reasonably dry. I want to do this side next as well because this other side is going to be stuck down. So I'm just going to flip it over and do exactly the same thing. And we'll get 2 on here as well. And a bit of green. There's so many different things you can do with the mists. This is just one example that I'm showing you today. There we go. There is quite a lot of ink on there actually. It's going to take a while to dry, so I am going to carefully blot up that. Just go really careful not to smudge it. I use the same piece of kitchen towel over and over again, as you can see. There we go. There, that's quite clean and crisp actually. That's come out really nicely. So I'm going to take the sticker book from last month's kit. Excuse the kids screaming in the background. They're calling the dog to go for a walk. Right, so we're going to use this and we're going to have to do, and then I'm going to put Easter weekend on there. There we go. And on my list, we've restarted watching Walking Dead. We're big Walking Dead fans. We've gone back to the beginning. This is the 3rd time now we've gone back to the beginning. We're currently partway through season 2, so I'd like to watch more of that. Aid's actually creating a coffee nook in the garden right now, so I'd like to get that finished off maybe tomorrow. Have coffee and wine in the new coffee nook. FaceTime party with friends. I'd like to bake Holly's favourite chocolate raspberry cake over the weekend. It's her absolute favourite. Have a barbecue, play board games with the family, and we're also thinking about getting the old PlayStation out, the really old one, the PlayStation 2. I think it's in one of the kids' rooms. We used to play Buzz. Did anyone else used to play that? So we want to do that as a family, go on a long woodland walk. We've got loads of woodland, disused runway, all kinds of areas. We're right on a common here, so loads of space with nobody around. It's bliss. I want to paint some ugly wooden drawers in my lounge teal. I've chosen the colour already and I've been meaning to do it since the new year, so I'd really like to get that done. I'd like a craft session and a bedtime picnic with my husband. Do you ever do that? Obviously not with my husband, with your husband. We love to take a picnic to bed. Sometimes we don't do it that often, and watch a movie or something like that. It's really cozy and really fun. So that's on my list for this weekend. Right, let's see if this is dry enough. I think we can get away with that. So I want to, have I done this the wrong way? Oh, I have. Hold on a sec. I'm so silly. It was that side that I wanted. I really like that as well. I need to recreate now that on there. Oh, silly on me. Right, where's that little fern gone? Here the whole time. So this will be down like that. Or I could do it that one. I really like that one the best actually. So I'm going to recreate it here. And let's do this one so you get to see me do it again. And let's throw some green on there as well. And then you can see now why I use the board, why it's so handy. And we'll blot that up. By doing this as well, it really speeds up the drying process. And the reveal. Ta-da! Oops. See, it's a really cool technique, isn't it? I love those colours. As I now need to wait for that to dry again, I'm actually going to work on my tag. So the tag will go underneath. This will be fab for a photo front and back. That will work really, really well. I'm going to use some of the kit papers from this month's kit. Let's have a little bit of graph paper, pink graph paper, like that. I'm going to cut that to size. And I'm going to use one of my favourite EK Success punches. I got asked about these recently. I have had mine for absolutely years. I don't even know if they're still, if there's new ones that still come out for sale. I'm really not sure, to be honest with you. You can still find them on Amazon, I think. The other place to have a look is papermaze.co.uk. They also sell some of the punches, but I've always found them not just for border punches but for other punches as well. They're always a really clean cut. Right, I don't usually do my tag front and back the same, but this time I am. I want to save that for the photo, so I'm going to keep that quite plain, but I've just done a bit of a scallop punch there, and I'm going to add that to both sides too. I'm just going to trim that a little bit, and that will be able to slide underneath. I never fully stick anything to the right to the edge, so then I can always add anything by just sliding it under if I want. I do it, it's quite a regular thing that I do, so it's just always become a habit now, and that will be really easy to trim down. And I'll do the other really nice bit of colour. I'm going to go round, doodle around the outside. As you know, I love a black dotted line and a bit of doodling. I just think it finishes it off really nicely. Just got a couple of little flat back gems from the kit, which I'm going to pop on there. And then you can see the difference from this side compared to this side. Doesn't that make a difference? I apologise if you can hear the lawnmower. My husband's now mowing the lawn. It's all happening during this video. It's now time to finally work on this pocket, so I'm going to be sticking down 3 sides as I mentioned before. And we're going to stick that down like that. 3 sides, and that should, fingers crossed, slide in. Yes, excellent. And that's my pocket. One thing I want to share with you. Here you can see my ink has smudged because I'm really impatient. I'm really bad at waiting. Never worry about this kind of thing. Firstly, doesn't really matter anyway. It looks quite pretty. But secondly, you can always cover it up with something. I wanted to add this little quote, which is from the kit, from the Secret Garden kit. I was wondering where to put it. This now makes the perfect sense to pop that quote there. So I'm going to trim that down, and I'm going to add that to the front there. So the Secret Garden quote reads, "Of course there must be lots of magic in the world, but people don't know what it is like or how to make it." And that takes me back to my bedtime picnic. Sometimes you do have to make your own magic. Just things like getting out the old buzz game, the PS console from when the kids were really little. It is just almost like rethinking things and thinking about how you can have a really nice time. So I do think this quote is very good. And I'm going to stick it on here. I am going to start at the bottom and work my way up. That way I know that I will have enough space. Nothing worse than starting at the top and then you run out of space. So I will do it that way round. There we are. I'm really loving these colours together. And then I've written where the quote came from as well. I've done it like this with a little fold because that will be fine like that. But when this bit opens here, I want it to neatly open out. Would have actually been quite good to put inside actually, but I do really like it like that, so I'm happy I've done that, and it's covered up that little bit of smear as well, smudge. I did also want to use a couple of the bits from the embellishment postcard, so I'm going to trim those down. I think this would be really fun actually, to add a little bit of journaling and then add a photo on that side afterwards. So let's add a little bit of a border. so it doesn't look completely plain for now. I'll do that. I do print my photos myself. I get asked that all the time, so it's really easy to resize them to whatever size I need. And now I want to make a little flip, a little bit like how I did in my previous videos, but I might use, should I use some postcard? No, I think I'll use some washi tape. I'm going to change my mind and I'm going to use one of these little, let's do the green. I think the green will go really well. I've done this before. I don't want to cover up the butterflies too much. There we go. And that opens out nicely then, ready for a photo, and I can add some journaling underneath. And I think I'm going to do exactly the same with this one here. There we go. We've got two now, so space for a photo and space for journaling. I think it just makes it look a little bit tidier. Had I just have journaled, it would have still looked nice, but it kind of just tidies it up a little bit. So I'm really pleased with that. And let's get some titling on there. Let's get some little bits and pieces I'm going to stick on. These are all from the kits as well, and I think these will look really cute, so I'm just going to stick some random bits and pieces down. I think I'm going to cut this one as well. It says go outside. That will be perfect for either our coffee nook in the garden or for our woodland walk this weekend. Let's pop it on the other side. So that's my tags, or my tag I should say, ready for the photos and the journaling. And then I've got this bit here as well, ready for more photos and journaling and my to-do list. I'm really pleased with that. That's so much fun, and it's really easy for me now after the weekend or during the weekend just to update it as things happen. I will just give you a flip through. My intention when I started this group was to document the story, our own personal story of what's happening right now. I decided to keep it in a separate group purely because I know it's not for everybody, and not everybody wants to be surrounded in the news and what's happening right now. But saying that, my intention was always to keep it positive, uplifting and inspiring, and I really hope that you're finding that when you have been following, if you have been following as a group. So things like documenting what we're doing this weekend I think is really fun. It's a nice thing to do, but just in case you wanted to have a look, this is the rest of my book so far. And then we've got the dates, so we've got like the January, February and March. I still need to write down our own personal story. I've also got a list of everything that's happened, things that are going on, and then I need to write down our April story as well, and that's my facts. I might continue to add bits and pieces in there, but I'm really happy with how this is coming along, and there's still lots more to document. So thank you so much. I would love to know, one, leave me a comment and let me know if you are documenting your story and if you're part of the group, and two, what are your plans for your Easter weekend? Please leave me a comment, let me know. It's always so much fun hearing what you're up to. Thank you very much for watching this video. I really hope you've enjoyed it. Please do subscribe to my channel if you are new. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe. It's totally free. And please do give me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed this. Thank you so much. The link to the group is down below if you'd like to go and join the free workshop. I look forward to seeing you there. Thank you so much. Bye.